I'm sorry.
Gaffrey. What's going on, my brother?
I was just having a sinful sniff over here.
I gave a couple of them out to the dealerships today. Their boys are big fans, man. They're torn between which one they like better, but
this is my favorite label so far we've done at BioBonds because you can't really see it. I'm not doing it justice. If Chris had it there, you probably tell you about it.
No, I don't have one right next to me either.
But it's got the black, right? And that's the thing I like about it the most. And it's got the red. I like black and red as a color combination. So with the apple scent, I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And the smell. So I'm just saying.
Like that scent better than the pumpkin?
You know what, man? It depends on the day I'm in, the mood I'm in. I feel like apple scent
when you have unlimited access to bars, you could just change it up every day.
Yeah, man. I mean, technically, anybody could have unlimited access to bars, but I mean, my situation's a little different. That's true. I mean, we're blessed. We're blessed. What can I say?
Yeah. True that. We are. So what's cracking, Godfrey, man? How's the week going for you, man?
It's going good. Just getting ready for fall, I guess. SEMA's around the corner. That's exciting. We got the fall bar drop. That's exciting. Personally, it feels weird. Today I was like, oh, let me go do something on my lawn real quick. I'm like, wait a second. It's dark now. What just happened? You know what I mean? I feel like I just got robbed of an hour overnight of my life of daylight. I know it's not literally that way, but that's what it feels like, And
it didn't even happen yet because once daylight savings happened, they're gonna steal another hour from you.
I know, man. It's gonna be like 5 o'clock or
like a double banger because like September rolls around and it's obviously not 8. It's 8 o'clock and dark. You know what I mean? And then like literally a month later, or whenever it is, daylight savings comes and they just yank another hour from us.
Yep.
But, it is what it is, man. It's the way the world works, at least in this part of the country. I don't think Arizona does daylight savings, which I respect. Shout out to everybody in the comments. AA Ron, what's going down? Detail Obsessed, what's up? House of Rags, what's good with you? Miss Kim, Corey, Lazy Jones, what's up, everybody? Conway.
What's up, everybody?
Chris M, Sand Squatch, got the whole gang up in here, man. What's going on, everybody?
Yeah, man. It's Keith, listen, this episode's gonna be a little bit different, as we kick it. You guys can ask it. This is Ask Us Anything. It doesn't have to be BioBombs related. It can be BioBombs related. It could be personal. Doesn't mean if it's too personal, you're gonna get an answer, but you can ask the question.
I feel this one going off the rails real soon.
I mean, we're here for it. If we want to go off the rails, we go off the rails. So I purposely didn't share this out with a couple of individuals because I knew they find their way here and just, I'm expecting Aaron from Phoenix EOD to show up in here any moment with some bangers.
Oh, he's in there already. He's already.
Oh, is he? Is he?
Yeah.
We got don't forget about the
Blade.
Phoenix EOD.
The Blade, man.
BioBomb Mini collaboration with Typhon. Don't forget about that. Actually, I actually had some with me in England, believe it or not. I was actually able to get it over there. Don't ask any questions. It happened. So,
as a consumer, you can kind of get away with that.
Yeah. So, I was polishing my Doc Martens before I went out, and I somehow got some of the shoe polish on the carpet. Bad. Not good. It's Airbnb. Don't want the Tabasa taken. I immediately said, uh-oh. Let's get the Typhon. I had the Mini. Put it in there. Took care of it. Good as new. I'm not joking. That literally happened. Because, I wanted to show my buddy some of the products and all that because I have friends over there, drop her name a little bit. Hey, man, let me mess with your car a little bit. Things of that nature, right?
I'm a detailer, the full 9 yards.
No, he knows I'm not a detailer. Actually, I did smuggle some GM parts because you can't really get them over there for him. Like, put them in my bag. Like, it's like 4 times the cost. It's ridiculous. So I got them.
Really?
GM. Yeah.
It's crazy, man.
It's like, how like we have GM parts you need for like a car, like a HHR and stuff like that, where they have an Alfa Romeo Spider that use GM parts. So he needed a valve, air valve intake. So I hooked him up. Anyway, so I brought a bunch of that stuff over.
Such a mule, Godfrey.
Well, listen.
You when your car parts across international waters.
International waters. Muling them in the case. I read them checking in and cared. I mean, they're about this big, but they're really concerned about you taking a pallet worth of crap over. But that didn't happen. But the Typhon combination, man, I was like, oh man, what do I do? And I cleaned it right up. I'm talking like black shoe polish on the carpet, and I was like, this is where we go. So I had some mini samples with me, a few things and all that. So I was able to do the concoction. I brought a bottle Didn't bring a whole bottle of Typhon, but I brought enough for the dilution. It had 3 capfuls in there, tightly wound package, so it wouldn't spill out, things like that. And then I put the water in, put the BioBomb Mini in, and we were ready to go. So as a cleaner in the house in general, it's very effective. So as they like,
that's what's up.
Yeah. So, yep, that shirt rocks. Yeah, I knew you'd say that. Something tells me you're going to say that, but I'm here because Godfrey has an awesome shirt on. Thank you. I appreciate that, Adrian.
What's going on, Adrian? How are you, brother?
So
mini me in the building. I'm actually probably running that cat this weekend. Got a little event going on with the Budco boys this weekend. It's going to be a pretty
Salt Lake
cool
City?
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty cool event. I think we're going to run into a bunch of cats. I think Case from KCX is going to be there. I'm pretty sure the Detail boys are going to be there. Adrian's going to pop in. I know I'm forgetting people because I'm terrible with this, but yeah, it should be a pretty cool event, man. Definitely looking forward to it.
So you're going to be there like Friday to Sunday or like?
Yeah, we're flying out on Friday, event Saturday. I think we're leaving Sunday afternoon or something like that. So
hold up for a second. Guys, yeah, the warehouse party. Let's schedule that for starting Saturday, and we got to clear out there Sunday morning. Thanks. All right, cool. Yeah. BioBomb's warehouse rave party. Let's go.
Godfrey, I don't know if the people know, but that's definitely your preference in music too. So,
well, I'm all over the place musically,
but you're more like you're super techno.
I'm not, I more trance. I used to be back in the day. I went to a club over in England, and it was after a carnival meaning festival, and it's in Notting Hill. And I got in, and it was like this techno / reggae. I was digging it. I was like, wow. And I was just wanted to see if I still had the chops to go out at nighttime. And I did. I went by.
I don't think you ever lost it. That's why you're up till 3 o'clock in the morning all the time. You still think you're out at the club and shit.
Yeah, but listen, but you can't. There's a difference between being up and then going out, getting in, dealing with all that jazz. And yeah, I was like, yeah, I still got it. So
actually, I don't mind some of it, dude. The stuff I really don't mess with is like the shit that Shaq does. Like, I don't get down with that. Like,
you're talking about
like crazy. Like that stuff is just too much for me, man.
You're talking about Skrillex.
Yeah,
and cats like that. Yeah, one of the funniest pictures when you see Shaq just bumping in the front row. You know what I mean?
Massive. And
you're like, can you? I can't even imagine. That dude is so massive. Like,
he's such a goat, man. I love Shaq.
Yeah, he's. It's
a big
dubstep.
Boy,
it's dubstep or bro step. It's dubstep. That's
but like it doesn't. I don't know, man. There's like that sound wave that they do where it's just like this, like wow. Like I just don't like any of that. It's just too much for me. I'm all about the vibe and stuff, but that just ain't my thing.
I've never been to a Burning Man, and the thing is I probably wouldn't do it unless I can glamp and have the most luxurious camper ever.
Well, this past year was an absolute shit show. I think last year was a shit show. I mean,
yeah.
If you go to Burning Man at this point, you probably have to be prepared for a shit show.
If anybody out there, however, is servicing these Burning Man RVs that have been rented post, BioBombs has your back. You need to get to us because we can help you out with the shitrous smell that you're definitely going to have
100%
in that RV.
100%.
Post it, and when they break their deposit and make it dirty, you still got to clean it. You got to come to us. You know what I mean? Shout 100%. Out to Nighthawk. He's out there. He told me about that. He said, like, you go out. He lives not too far from there. Nighthawk ran and he said, if you try to buy stuff from the Walmart, certain things, they won't let you return it if you're going in a certain radius of Burning Man, I believe.
That makes sense.
Like, yeah, you can't return that.
Bro, did you see any of the footage from this year? It was absolutely crazy, dude.
It was insane.
I think last year it like rained. And it was like raining nonstop. It was like a flood last year or whatever. I think people couldn't get out because it was so muddy or whatever. You know what I mean? And then like this year, it's a complete opposite. It's like a dust storm. Like,
see that kind of stuff?
Mad Max. You know what I mean?
When you're in the middle of nowhere, okay, and something like that goes down, you could be absolutely screwed. All right. So to me, I like big events, but not if I have to go travel in the middle of nowhere. It looks like the surface of Mars. I'm sorry. I'm gonna need like Starlink, solar power, like, nah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you'd have been done even if you had all that shit, because that sandstorm was knocking all that out.
It was that bad? It was that crazy?
Dude, it was wild. It literally looked like something out of Mad Max, bro. Like, I seen this video of this chick dancing today or whatever, like saying it was like her first Burning Man or something like that. You know, it scrolls through the feed or whatever, and some random literally dusty chick She had on like ski goggles and stuff like that, and literally is like got all these different clips of her like out like it's cool hanging out in like a lounging swing chair thing. And I'm like, yo, I'm thinking to myself, like, this chick's gonna get lifted. I mean, obviously she posted it after she was there, but I'm like, you're about to get lifted up out of this chair just because you're trying to shoot something for the gram. It was wild, dude.
Insane.
Like, yeah, I got my
Insane.
first sunburn and sandburn because like the sand was whipping so hard that it was like, you know, exfoliating people's skin like down 3 layers or whatever.
We got our first question of the night. BioBombs fans coming in soon. My shop needs a fragrance infusion. Even the House of Rags is hitting us at where the heck the fans at? I don't know.
They're
Everything's
coming. They're coming. Everything's a process, man.
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys know. Thor knows. I mean, you try to get something done, and then boom, next thing you know, you get hit with a curveball. But we do have them. They're coming out sooner than later. Everybody stay patient. Keep your eyes peeled. We'll drop them on you randomly.
I think there is a secret or a low key, fervence or excitement for the fans because if you're a real BioBombs fan, you know about those fans. No pun intended. You've either been an MTE or SEMA, and you've gotten a whiff, so to speak, of what it actually is, and you're like, when is that happening? So we know who you are, and definitely we're looking forward to that too. I could tell you, I mean, we like the product. You do, Christian. You've used it. I've used it, right?
Yeah, I think I got one right here.
So, oh man, you guys are getting special behind the scenes access right now. Oh, and the stickers on there.
Yeah, but we changed the sticker, so
did we? Okay. Yeah. I think I got that sticker. I'm not sure. Maybe it's just a different sticker, and I thought it was for that. But
we're working on things. I mean, guys, we just bought a bunch of new heat. There's only do one thing, so many things at a time. You know?
Yeah. Got the heat here, new labels.
We got the Halloween VDKs, the Fresh AF rebrand. Yep. That's crazy, guy. That green screen just completely wipes out any of the green.
I know.
Label. It's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You guys know what it is. If you know, you know. So, but yeah, there's a ton of that going on. Yeah, that's a total heat. Yeah. So some of you guys have it's definitely in the way. We don't gatekeep here. I know some people think some companies do, but we don't say, oh, we don't have a product. We actually do. We actually mean when we're out, we're out. Yeah. So some people, I know the Sugar Plum Daddy controversy is like, you guys are gatekeeping. People told me when I said we had a pallet in there, and I was like, guys, I don't think you understand. I had to smuggle 4 of my own from one of the shipping mule, and so.
Yo, if there's anybody in the chat right now that's listening that stores a vehicle during the wintertime and doesn't drive it, potentially has rodent issues or whatever, reach out to us. Send either me or Godfrey an email. We're going to actually try to start doing some testing this year. We got some of the peppermint fatties left from last year. I want to try to run them to see if they'll, be a rodent deterrent inside vehicles or whatnot. So
with the peppermint.
Yeah, with the peppermint. It's like peppermint's supposed to do it. I think lavender or something like that's another one.
Interesting.
That's supposed to deter rodents. So, I mean, the peppermint one in general, I would think that because the bars are that strong, that you snap them, throw them underneath the seat or whatever, it might
dual use.
Keep the little homies out of the car during the cold months.
Right. So, yeah, guys, any questions are on the table. Non-BioBombs related, BioBombs related. Shoot them in the chat and we'll get it going. Because I know a lot of you will hit us up with stuff during the weeks in the previous episodes. And we don't quite get to all the questions, unfortunately, because we got a guest. And this week we don't. So we said, hey, let's do this and, throw the questions in there. But we got a lot coming down the pike.
So I'll just drop one in here or whatever. He said, y'all got anything for carpet bugs? What kind of carpet bugs you talking about, bro? Like bed bugs or like mites or something? I mean, my treatment for that would be minis and a steamer. Guaranteed it ain't going to like that.
Yeah.
One of the things we can't do and that we don't do is make any type of KILL claims because, like, that can kind of get you in the high water with people unless you have certain registrations. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, we can definitely get the funk out of the carpets, use a steamer and grab some minis. You should be good to go.
Yeah. But, it'd definitely be good to go for that. I would agree. Yeah. The KILL, the HE double hockey sticks, you can't be making the kill hell clean, right? But,
yeah,
experiment. But we could talk to some homies on the side. You know what I mean? But you got
stand spots. If you got spiders near the windows, bro, that's crazy. I'm not a big spider guy.
Are you afraid of spiders?
It's not that, dude. Like, I just don't like them, right? When I moved into my house, like, my basement wasn't waterproofed or whatever, so it was a little damp down there at times. Like, probably within the first 3 months, I was down there, like, hanging out, playing video games or doing something down the basement when I first got the crib. It was like 15, 20 years ago. And all of a sudden, like, I seen a wolf spider, dude. I don't know, man. Like I would say the size of my pinky. You know what I mean? And I just like from that moment on, I was like, yo, I don't care. And immediately it was like I called my boy up. I'm like, yo, we're waterproof in the basement. I'm not dealing with this shit. I can't live knowing that there's these wolf spiders walking around my basement because heaven forbid they make it up the steps and I'm sleeping. Next thing you know, I swallow one of these joints, I'm gonna die.
So did you ever hear the claim that people on average swallow 8 spiders a year?
Yeah, I would like to ask ChatGPT if that's actually really accurate or not.
I'm glad you asked that because actually I did just ask ChatGPT if that was an accurate question or not. And I can tell you the results real quick since everybody's probably wondering now because it's a myth that we've all heard, the urban myth. And the claim was 8 spiders a year. It is an urban myth not backed by science. Actually, spiders avoid humans. Our mouths vibrate with every breath, snore, or a word muttered in sleep. Spiders are very sensitive to vibration and almost always run away from it. So feel safe. If someone told you that and tortured your soul,
That
you
gives
can
me
be
more
released.
comfort. I never believed 8 in a year. That was just absolutely ridiculous. 8 in a lifetime, I could definitely see that happening, but 8 in a year just seemed completely far-fetched to me.
As a guy with a longer beard, do you feel more scared because they could burrow up in there and nest in there?
Huh? What?
Do you feel more scared because they can burrow and nest inside that beard as a
Ain't
guy with a
nothing.
long?
I mean, yeah, inside my beard, you could definitely. I mean, there's a lot of things that could probably live in there pretty comfortably, but no, nothing's living inside of me, dude. My body is a temple, destroying
Yeah.
everything that's not supposed to be there.
Yeah, the brown recluse is not to be messed with, man.
Nah, dude, I had a homie that got bit in his leg one time, dude. I'm not lying. He had a hole like this in his leg. He wouldn't get it fixed, and he finally got it like, his skin started rotting away, and I mean, they cut a chunk out of his leg, bro. It took months
I
to.
had someone tell me they got bit by one and their foot went fully white. I said, were you afraid you were going to lose your foot? Like no
Yeah.
feeling white, and they're fine. It came back, but I'm just like, whoa.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean, listen, we got the brown recluse, but I mean, like black widows and all that. I mean, they're all over out in like the Arizona area. I think like that to me, like that's crazy. Like I don't know how I would do with scorpions and like just giant black widow spiders kind of chilling around me in the backyard. Like a dog gets bit and it's like done. You know what I mean? And my dogs are so stupid, they would definitely get bit and be done in like a heartbeat. I got
yeah.
like Larry Moe and Curly of Basset Hounds.
So we got from Swanky. Do you have a booth at SEMA? Yes and no. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're gonna be out of SEMA. We're gonna be hanging out with the Thor boys. We got invited back this
Yeah.
year, so shout out to Eddie and Jamie and them.
Gonna have a star-studded lineup this year. It's gonna have, let's just say, an international flavor, if you will, so to speak, maybe a little bit. Homeboys from the, I correct me if I'm wrong, Jamie. Josh V. I know some of the guys. Things are always, playing and it's always going on.
Yeah, there's gonna be definitely some heat going on.
Josh V. Us, I believe, Yum, DIY possibly, obviously Thor, Pan. There might be some others, but that's what I know off the top of my head. So it's going to be a busy booth. Come by. We want to see you. We expect to see you. And I will tell you this time, though, you're going to find us in the West Hall versus the North Hall where you're in last time. I believe it was
moving on up.
Yep. We're not new anymore, so we don't got to have to be there across from those poor people from Asia that had the roof rack machine. Remember them, Christian? They were struggling with life. Like they had
across from us.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
that product. They couldn't give it away. They couldn't give that product away to people.
It's a wild flex, man. If you go to SEMA and you got something like that, I mean, obviously it's a niche market, but you flip a couple of them things. I mean, I guess it could be worth it for you.
They weren't getting anybody coming out of the booth. They were just straight eating lunch and sitting down. Like it was like done. So West Hall is going to be awesome. There's a lot more action.
We got a couple of random questions popping in here, guy. For let's make sure we stay on task with this. I don't want to, avoid it. Tonight's comment night from everybody. So, how long does it take to get a new scent ready to sell? What was the scent that worked out but sucked bad? So, one of the suckiest scents that we did was Saddle Cheeks, which we've talked about on our pod, and Eddie and Jamie have talked about it several times on their pod. There was a leather scent that I guess would be more like what you would consider to be like a Wilson's leather jacket store or whatever kind of smell, like that, more like vintage kind of leather. And leather's a really tough one to do in general. But that was probably the stinkiest that we've had. Typically a scent, you're running anywhere between like 6 to 8 months in a bad situation. I mean, you got to figure out the fragrance that you want to go with. You got to kind of You got to curate the oil, you got to get the oils blended and made, and then you got to test them into a sample bar, and then you got to run the sample bar for 2 months, 30 days, 60 days, see how it actually holds up. Sometimes it doesn't lift, sometimes it lifts, but it disappears in a couple of days. So, we've had some heartbreakers over the years that we really wanted to kind of have work, but just didn't really lift or didn't really stick around, get the longevity that we wanted. So it's a little bit of a tedious process, but I mean, that's what makes it fun, right? You get involved in it. Like, squash was one of them ones. My fingers were crossed and my toes were crossed. Like, please let this bad boy last. And, it worked out perfectly fine. But there's other scents we've had in the tuck that really didn't work. But we're working on some new stuff. Biggest thing is just trying to keep it fresh with you guys, man. Bring something new, a couple times a year. So we can just kind of keep bringing the heat to the people.
Yeah, I mean, we had one that I think, I don't know, maybe it might make a reappearance down the line. I have some hope for it. That didn't work out internally is the OG Spice.
Man, I ain't dead yet, bro.
It ain't dead yet? Okay,
Hell no, man.
If you want a bar with staying power,
bro,
you want to talk about staying power?
It makes New Car Nectar look like that's the
it's not even on the same planet.
It's like Fresh AF or you know what I mean, Dope Soap or something subtle. Like it. That's how crazy strong this one bar is.
I had this sample bar sitting on my desk in a Ziploc bag. I'm not kidding you, for 6 months, and I still can get a whiff of it.
Mm-hmm.
And it finally started to dissipate after about 7 months.
I can go down into the lab right now and literally pull that box out. Before I even open it up with sealed bars, you're literally smelling it all over the room.
Now, when I told people about that,
wild,
they're like, why didn't you release it? Because I guess there is kind of a thirst out there, if you will, for like that old, the way I would describe it, stop me if I'm wrong here, Christian, in your eyes, but I think it reminds me of, all right, fine. It reminds me of, like, if your pops was taking your mom out to dinner and he threw that brute / aftershave on before they were going out the door, little this, little that, or at the barber shop.
Yeah, it's like a spice. It's like, yeah, exactly. It's like a spice barbershop / OG aftershave kind of blend. We've been sitting on that one. See if we cook it up and bring it out. The problem is with those things, man, is like, you bring out scents and it's like you can't really please everybody, right? Like we get different emails and stuff, especially now as we're like getting busier. And it's like, somebody will say to me, I got an email today or yesterday, somebody was like, New Car Nectar is definitely not New Car. It smells like absolute shit. I mean, the person was completely disrespectful. And, obviously being a business person, you got to reply kind of as respectfully as possible or whatnot. And I'm like, listen, man, sorry it doesn't fit for you or whatever. If you're interested in purchasing a new bar, I'm more than happy to send you out a replacement so you don't have to worry about having that one not be the one you like or whatever, And then the guy gave some type of rebuttal that was still a jerk off or whatever. And the next thing you know, or whatever, I'm sure he's going to ghost me now. We're not going to deal with it or whatever. But like, you can't win, right? Like some people are like, oh man, like this smells perfect. And other people are like, oh, I can't stand it. Like in the same vein, the following day, I got a message like, yo, your new car is the best new car I've ever smelled my entire life. I've been looking for a new car for like 20 years. Like, this is my favorite one. So it's like, wow, I mean, different strokes for different folks, right?
I feel like you got to like, I feel like New Car is like that scent that you like. It's funny, when I was over in England and I bought all the bar scents with me. The only ones I didn't have with me were the fall scents. And it was almost like their nose was different than ours as far as what they like. From male to female, there was a lot of Sugar Plum Daddy fans, a lot of New Car Nectar fans, and I found a lot of Lament fans over there. Lament, New Car Nectar, and Iced Out. So the men really wanted more of a masculine type of smell they felt. So they leaned toward New Car Nectar. Iced Out.
Lament. The ladies like Iced Out too, man, because it reminds them of their boo-boo. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep. So it's funny, man, how different noses in different regions. Like, I know for a fact, like, some people like to crap on vitamin C, but if I talk to my boy Zach in Iowa, out there, orange is a delicacy in that area, from what I understand. So when they smell vitamin C, it's like a treat to them. So they're all about it. It's just so interesting how smells are so regional. Or parochial, if you will. You know what I mean?
Oh, dude. I mean, we deal with it all the time. Like certain areas that we sell to or whatever. I mean, they'll have it'll be just nothing but pop and cherry, like 5 times the amount of any other bar, And then you go into other areas and it's like Iced Out's the king, and everywhere Fresh AF is kind of one of the biggest sellers. But it's just weird how it works that way.
Yeah, and my one buddy, his name's Dennis. He's like this proper German guy, and like when I let him smell everything, his face looked like a fresh fart in church just happened every single time until I put Newcar nectar and iced out under his nose, and then he liked it. Dope soap, actually, dope soap was the one that kind of pushed him over the edge. You know,
Dope soap's a fire scent, man. You know what I
yeah,
mean? It's definitely one of what I consider to be one of our more subtle ones. New car nectar will smack you right in the face for 3 months when you put it in your car. I mean, it's just that's the way it is.
yeah. We got some. We got a mini question. Or we
I tagged a couple in the comments or start them up so you can fire
tea
away.
tree oil scent, sports clips. You know, tea tree oil, man. I'd rather go teak wood before tea tree oil if I had to go to order of like scents to come to market if it was up to me. But
Yeah, all
tea
that
tree
OG
oil,
stuff.
it makes me. It reminds me of like acne and washing your face. That's why I don't know, man. Like, does it? What does tea tree oil
I
remind
kind
you?
of get the same vibe.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
almost like I don't know. It's an exfoliator to me. I don't know. So we got the Biobomb minis in distilled water. What's the shelf life if not used at all?
You're only gonna get about 2 weeks out of the minis, guys, if you don't use them. I mean, if you put them in an opaque spray bottle and you drop them in a cool area, if you got a fridge in the garage or something like that, you might be able to burn another week out of it, 2 weeks out of it. But traditionally, you're gonna get about 2 weeks out of it. So
And you don't
turn
need
them.
to use distilled water, by the way.
No, regular tap water is fine.
Yep. So no distilled water is necessary. So if you're doing that, take that step out. Now, distilled water is good for spraying in after using the VDK or the big bomb, if you will, and there's a smell to help it dissipate. That's when you have to use distilled water in
Right.
conjunction with the product.
Right,
So
because you want to make sure that the chlorine dioxide has something to bond to. You want the water to be
yep.
clean.
So let's see. We got a lot of start here. We get all right. So let's see. How do we recommend? No, this one here. Will we see a different scent with the spray bottle? I'm guessing he wants a addition to Fresh AF.
So I told people a couple of times in the podcast and through other pods we've done or whatever, if you guys want to see a different scent in a spray bottle, something's got to get close to selling more than Fresh AF. Because that was not something that I ever wanted to do. And I only budged because it just made sense from a business perspective to try to bring out what would be our most popular seller. But, you never know, man. We got some stuff cooking all the time. So, keep your eyes peeled,
This is
see what
interesting.
happens.
Do you guys have Dirty Hippie? And what kind of oil is that, Christian? Help me out here. After a
Patchouli.
week, patchouli oil after a week after Burning Man in a van. I'm pretty sure no one wants that scent.
So ironically, like I'm a fan of patchouli. I think patchouli is a pretty cool scent. It's an OG kind of like smoke shop, like hippie, you know what I mean, kind of scent or whatever. We actually tried to do a patchouli bar, couldn't get it to lift the way I wanted it to. So that was back to the drawing board for a little bit. I figured that'd be a OG hippie fragrance if we ever got it, but couldn't get that one to cook the right way. That's what it is, man. It happens. So
Yeah, me.
David dropped a question up here just about depressing the fogger nozzle without accidentally using the whole thing. It's actually a pretty great question. What I always tell cats to do is just get a razor blade, and when you look at the other side of the little depressing tab, there's a little nipple that pops out of there. Just cut that thing right off.
Yeah, because if that thing goes off with the unlimited release,
it's only because the little catch inside the nozzle. So when you go to look at the back of it, there's this tiny little catch, and if you cut that catch off or whatever, you could press it down all you want. It's never going to stick and lock.
Yeah.
So
that is wild. When I've had that go off, and I have one, and I use it in a friend's car just to see, and you're gonna smell like lemon fresh air for a while. It's strong.
It is strong.
That thing is not to be played with.
Definitely a strong scent.
So we got what's this one right here? This is a good one. I know it said Biobomb minis can be added to interior cleaners and APCs to boost cleaning and deodorizing. Is that the case for most products, or ones strictly verified by House of Rags?
So vetted was the word there, not verified, but that's cool. That's what happens.
Verified, vetted. Tomato,
it's
tomato.
It's almost the same thing. Tomato, tomato. No, I mean, I wouldn't say none of the. I don't recommend to put our minis into anybody's APC. We just loosely say interior cleaner or whatever. I mean, we want you guys to experiment on your own. I don't think it's really proper for us as a company, right, to say, hey, go use X and X or whatever and drop a mini in it. It'll be performing better or whatever. The test that we've done with the products that I've used over the years, It's always enhanced the performance and the deodorization capabilities. We have a cosign by our boy Aaron over at Phoenix EOD. There's been a bunch of people that have tried it and verified that as well for how well it works. I mean, I can say that there are plenty of other lines out there that people drop minis in that work perfectly fine, but we don't personally like to co-sign it unless we get the okay from the other company, because it's kind of like, if you don't take it the right way, it could kind of be a smack in the face that we're saying, hey, your product's good, but with our stuff is the only way it's going to get better. So we don't want that.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, if you go to the detail forums, you could talk to guys that are doing actual details, and that will tell you, like, I've used it with this, I've used it with that.
It's like Frank's red hot sauce, man. People put that shit in everything. So
yeah. I mean, generally you should be fine, right? But like, he's right. Like, we don't want to like do that without permission. You know, Phoenix DOD co-sign it. That's one thing. But yeah, if you have one that you like that might not be there, you know, you will easily find on the forums if you could do something like that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You're going to see Casey. I know a popular one that I have Phoenix EOD in there, but I also have a bottle of Polestar because before I got some Phoenix EOD in my hands, I spilled a little bit of cheesesteak grease in the rental when I was eating on the thing. And you know what? The cheesesteak grease needed to be cleaned up, and I threw it in a Coach Cammy Polestar, and it did a great job. So there's many out there, but yeah, we never
try
want
it out, man. Send us, try it out. Add to your story. Tag us. We're more than happy to blast it out there.
Yep,
it's cool when other people do it. We just can't promote ourselves.
Pretty yeah, right. I'm pretty sure you could throw it in Sword by Detail Co. as well. I'm pretty sure, like, that interior cleaner. I haven't done it yet, but
Sword works good with Sword.
Yep. So Funkin' Homies 10, guys. Funkin' Homies 10. Just
Funkin' 10, guy. It's Funkin' 10.
Funkin' 10. Oh, it's Funkin' 10. All right, Funkin' 10. My bad. They're going to get inbox messages, be like, how come this code doesn't work? I keep putting in Funkin' Homies 10.
And all Jamie's going to say is stinking Gaffrey.
Yeah. Oops. That's happened to us before, where we've made codes and it was like slightly a variation. And then I don't know who it was, me or was it one of the other guys, and we were giving a code out and it was like off by it was slightly different.
Because I think you guys weren't you were capitalizing the first letter or something like that when it wasn't supposed to be, because it like auto defaulted that way when you went to type it or whatever.
Oh, I got one for you. You're gonna like this one. Cars with Keith. Christian, why is your taste in music so bad?
I love that, Keith. I was hoping that you were going to fire up this question for me. I don't know. I guess obviously as I've gotten older, my taste has gone out the window. I obviously stopped shaving. I mean, I'm all falling. I'm just falling apart, man. You know?
Shots fired. Shots fired.
You know, I mean, it's just unfortunately it's only because Keith has a crush on Eminem. You know what I mean? And
oh wow,
I get it. You know what I mean? Like, they kind of look alike. You know what I mean? Like, I could see how and why Keith got offended when I said I didn't like Eminem, but you know, to each their own, man. You know,
that's funny.
I love his second albums. Like, I mean, Infinity was dope. You know what I mean? But that was obviously like underground. But like Slim Shady and Marshall Mathers LP, they're banging albums. My only argument I say to everybody all the time when we talk about him is like, the dude's a talented lyricist. Don't get me wrong, but like, who's replaying Eminem's albums if it's not the first or second one? You're not. You know what I mean? You're just not. You're not replaying it like you're playing Nozomatic. You're not replaying it like 36 Chambers. You're not replaying it like Biggie. You're not replaying it like Redman. You're not replaying it like Tupac. You're just not. You know what I mean? And that's my argument.
Although I feel like Eminem was pretty fire on Dr. Dre's second Chronic album. I will say that.
What's that?
He was on some.
Oh, yeah, the 2001 Dre album. Yeah, of course, man. I mean, dude, I'm saying the guy was on fire during that time. I was a huge fan back then. You know what I mean? Once he got into like the whiny stuff, I wasn't really a big fan. Yeah. But it is what it is, man. I mean, everybody's got different tastes in music. You know, you guys want to go down a deep rabbit hole? Dance with the Devil by
Christian,
Moral Technique. That's what y'all need to listen to.
When's the last time you didn't have a beard? Pull up a pic.
I don't even know if I want to do that to myself because it's going to become infamous.
I'm trying to remember. I feel like I've seen you without a beard, like way back in the, like, I'm talking
it's a long time, dog.
I'm talking like 2006, right? Like,
I'm saying it might even have been a year or two before that. It's been a very long time. I've taken it down a couple times, like a lot. During COVID, it was absolutely savage, dude. It was just like, I mean, it was so bad during COVID because you just didn't care. You
didn't even realize. Yeah, I had
so bad.
It was like down to here when I had COVID. My beard was crazy.
Let's see if I can
Yeah,
find a pic that I
yeah.
feel comfortable sharing.
Bonus story actually. Christian might get mad at me for this one, but if you ever see Christian at a karaoke, there's a rumor that he can do the Humpty song like nobody else. I've heard this rumor from very verified sources within this close circle that this is something that you're gonna have to work to get on the pulled out. But if you do, it's a show and a half. That I've heard it. I've heard it.
It's retired, right?
I've
Like
heard, but I heard you can be coaxed out of retirement.
I've retired. I can be coaxed out of retirement. Dude, I've done it at like I don't want to like I think the number is like 7 or 8 weddings I was asked to perform the song in. So
What?
yeah.
Yo,
I mean, I've came down like ballroom steps with the mask on and the nose and
no,
the hat.
really?
Oh yeah, the whole 9 yards, dude. I
Because
won
when I
500.
first,
Dude, I won $500 at a karaoke contest. The dude's like this. I've been doing karaoke for 20 years. No one's ever won for a rap song ever. I like went through the whole thing. I had to go back for like semifinals and finals and shit. And like when it went to start, I went down into my bag and the music started. I like threw my hat on, threw the nose on. I'm like, oh, I stopped watching it. And I just started doing it. And people just went nuts, dude. Like chicks are coming up dancing. I'm like dancing in the air with them while I'm rapping and shit. It was crazy.
yeah,
It's the closest thing I ever got to being famous, guys, besides hanging out with y'all. So
the first time I met Christian through his brother, I like remember seeing him was at PJ Willihan's. It's a wing place, and I remember him specific. I remember that song was on. Now he wasn't doing it, but he was wearing a Wendy shirt that said Biggie on it.
No, it said Biggie Smalls is the
But
illest.
it was the fries though.
It was the fries. It was the Biggie logo from the fries, and it said Biggie Smalls is the illest, and I had Biggie with an afro and shit. I used to love t-shirts back in the day, man. That was like my favorite thing to wear.
Yeah, you used to get your shit tailored.
Yep.
Right.
What's I'm tall, dude? They didn't have like tall companies back in the day, so I have to buy like a double XL or an XL, and then I have to go take it to my Asian ladies over at Golden Timble, and she would cut me down and tape it, and you know what I mean, measure it all up, pin it, and
I think this is,
and I go back and pick my shirts up.
I think this is a two-parter. So John's asking this, and the second part of the question is the scent lifting for PTO scents. I'm not quite sure what he means by that. Do you know what he means by that?
Scent lifting for PTO scents.
Explain yourself in the comments, John, and we can follow up on that.
PTO means like some type of parent-teacher conference shit or something like that. That's the only thing I remember from PTO. So
that would PTA. But listen, guys. At SEMA, if you want to bring a karaoke machine and possibly get Christian to do this at the Westgate,
I encourage this. You do any karaoke?
The only karaoke I've done, because I kind of despise it secretly, is Smash Mouth All Star.
Godfrey, I see you doing that too. That's crazy.
So
that's really crazy because I definitely can see you doing that.
And Cake Going the Distance. So
okay, I can see you doing that one too.
Yeah, but that because it also doesn't require any tone, those songs, so I can definitely get away with it.
You can kind of speak them.
Yeah, so
absolutely.
But yeah, that's PTO stands for, I thought personal time off, but apparently it stands for Pam the organizer. So he's asking, is there a Pam the organizer scent being worked out?
Yeah, it's a PETA, pain in the ass. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, it's listen, man, with scent development, it is a lot harder than you guys think. Like certain scents are easier, but when you're making a custom scent, it's even harder, right? Like we went through that here at Squash, right? It's fair to say Squash was, I think that was your baby, and Squash was a little bit more complicated than, your vitamin C, right? So
I would have lost my mind if Squash didn't work.
Yeah, so Squash worked. It was great. People love it. So, Godfrey did karaoke, Endless Love with Me, and he played the part of Diana Ross. That did not happen. That is not factual, and that is fake news.
Aaron's cooking in the chat tonight, everybody.
Diana Ross, man, jeez. Yeah, so all right, how can you guys make non-toxic biodegradable bangers and everyone else toxic stuff sucks?
I mean, it's kind of a choice of what you're using for your products, man, or for your oils and stuff. We use all commercial grade essential oils for everything that we blend. So, I mean, they're not, trust me, they're non-toxic, but they're not fun to eat. I think I said it before. Like I've ate fresh AF lunch back when I used to eat lunch so many times. It was ridiculous.
Well, you fresh AF. What do you mean? You
Dude,
eat fresh AF
because
lunch?
we snap all these bars and throw them underneath all the dealership cars and stuff like that. So like constantly all day, it's like you're ripping open bars, snapping them in half, you're placing them underneath the seat. Well, like it's on your fingers. Like when you're out like on the road traveling from dealer to dealer, like you don't really think about, oh, I gotta go. I mean, I've never really been that way. It's probably not a good thing or whatever, but it's probably why I don't get sick. I don't really wash my hands like that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like when I go to the bathroom, obviously I do. I don't want anybody in the comments making any smart ass comments or nothing like that or whatever. But like,
good clarification there.
Yeah. If I'm going between dealerships, stuff like that, whatever. And so you go grab something to eat, burger, whatever. You're getting on the road, bust something open, eat a piece of fruit, whatever it might be. Like it's on your fingers. The next thing you know, like the first bite or two, you're like, ugh, because like numbs your tongue out, you know?
Yeah. So, I want to address this comment. You would definitely need the mini for bed bugs at the Westgate. So,
yo, time out. I'm tired of this. Everybody wants something, say something bad about the Westgate. I mean, Godfrey, did you enjoy yourself there?
I did. I do have some criticisms that are fair of the Westgate, but bed bugs and cleanliness would not be the criticism. They were cleanly, very clean.
I mean, they're underwear thieves, right?
They're
and
underwear. Yeah, they stole
from big black dudes, but I mean, like outside of that, like they're fine.
They stole Eddie's underwear. They threw it out. They're like, this is a dirty bed sheet. I'm out of here, or something like that.
Yeah, something like that happened, man.
They must have thought it was a pillowcase. I don't know, but
we mentioned it on Thursday again, man. I think he's still upset about it. Someone's got to come out to SEMA with a pair of purple drawers for Eddie to replace the ones that he lost.
Wow,
that
would be epic, and with a picture of him eating a Snickers bar in the back. That would of the drawers. That would be even more epic. You should do that.
You can do that part. You keep your little Snickers army yourself or whatever. Right, I'm sure I'm gonna have to run into all you guys when we're at SEMA anyway. But
yeah. So the thing about Westgate is, all right. The only criticism I have is like if you needed to get some work stuff done, the Wi-Fi was complete garbage. I called them. They actually gave us a hotel credit. I was like, well, we're working on an upgrade of Wi-Fi, and I was like, today? They're like, oh no, like 4 months ago. I'm like, okay, well, that doesn't help me today. Like I needed to do like.
That is a complaint you have. You did have problems with Wi-Fi. That's true.
And the other thing is, I think every hotel should have a detachable shower head. Say what you want about that, but when you're a certain height and you got a certain dynamic, like, and it's stationary, like you're trying to get a good shower, right? It's hard. I know that shower wasn't great for you.
Dude, I've been dealing with situations like that for as long as I can remember. I grew like 9 inches in 6th grade. You know what I mean? Like I got stretch marks all over my kneecaps and my back and stuff from how much I grew in like 1 year. I've been dealing with like shower situations since I was a kid. Like I mean, here's the thing I don't understand when you talk about this, because you said this to me when we were there. Water flows down, gravity flows down. I just don't see what the problem is. Stand underneath the water and let the soap and everything just run off you. Why do you have to like pull a detachable wand to spray your back or your butt crack? I just don't get it.
I mean, I'm being thorough. Like someone should be thorough with the minis in the steamer and getting into the HVAC system. That's all I'm saying. Like, you know what I mean? I'm trying to get the subsurface and surface odors.
I got you. All right.
We're on our feet doing all the stuff. You know what I mean?
I got you.
I'm trying to smell fresh. I can't be smelling like, I'm baking onions and being an air freshener / deodorization product. But that dude smells like old cheese and underwear over there. So their product doesn't work.
So Dragon got a question for us. So how do you guys deal or fix with some of the bars have an uneven scent strength, i.e. one side definitely has a stronger scent and the other side is weak? So the way the bars are done when they get placed into the pouch, guys, there's always going to be one side that's going to be a little bit more damp than the other one is. It's just because of the way the bars are made and the way we kind of seat them in the oil when they're getting soaked. It shouldn't be an uneven situation, but typically, I mean, I pride ourselves. I mean, Godfrey, you could say the same thing. I mean, I know if anybody has any type of issue with the quality of a bar or they reach out to us or whatever, we're always more than fair. We're trying to get everything resolved for you and get you out another bar if you feel like that's the case. Quality control, obviously, guys, is something we really pride ourselves on. Shit slips through the cracks every once in a while. We're not perfect. I know Godfrey looks almost perfect on camera, but he does have a lot of flaws outside of, you know what I mean, what you're seeing right now from a visual perspective. But we try to just stay on top of the consistency as best as possible.
So, I've had people say, oh, I don't need a free bar replacement. I said, you'll take this bar and I'll give this to you right now. Mm-hmm. They're like, what? I'm like, you're taking this bar and that's that. And they're like, oh, okay. I'm like, they're like, you don't have to do that. I'm like, I don't care. I want to do it. So, because I don't want someone feeling like we don't stand behind the product. Nothing's
Yeah.
perfect. Things
Yeah.
happen, and we just don't want you to
Absolutely,
feel
man.
like your hard-earned money was stolen.
The last thing we want you to do is like walk away and feel like you have a unsatisfactory experience, whether that be with the product or customer service or whatever. So, um, Chris M, what's up, bro? Always asking the good questions. How many requests have you had from more masculine scents like teak, sandalwood, mahogany, cool water? We get plenty of them, guys. Um, I'm not saying that we don't have stuff in the works. I'm not saying that we do have stuff in the works, but one of the biggest things for me, like that I don't want to do is I want to try to really limit the amount of cents that we do drop, right? Because I mean, is it cool for you guys as retail customers? Like, yo, man, Bomb's got 25 different cents or whatever. Yeah. But like the people who resell for us and stuff, for them to have to carry that many cents or whatever, for me, I'm trying to really kind of keep that at a, I don't want to drop 5 new cents a year or nothing like that. So I mean, we've toyed around with like Disney Vault and some of the cents for a little bit, and kind of putting them on like a limited release and bringing some new bars out so that like we can kind of rotate and flip through new things. But who knows, man? There might be a Godfrey the Gentleman's collection coming out at some point or something
I
like
would
that. You know what I
that'd
mean?
be yeah, just put the beer on the Confidentialman's collection. Yeah.
Absolutely. I got to hit on this next one just because it's a personal one that's really close to me or whatever. Mark Horn said this. Any thoughts on a cigar box or sweet tobacco scent? Bro, I've been
Mm.
working on that shit for a year. I've tried like 10 different variations. There is nothing that's hitting the notes that I wanted to hit. Right. So like Tobacco Oud by Tom Ford, I feel like is a really good one. The Tobacco Vanilla he's got out was also another really good one. Trying to recreate that or something along that same line, it just hasn't been as successful as I'd like it to be. And I mean, that's one for me that I need. It's going to come eventually. It's just got to be right before it drops.
Yeah, and the thing is too with new scents, like we have to be selective, right? We will love them all, but when you look at it from a grand scale, you have to be selective. And the thing is teak wood's a great smell. So is mahogany. So is cedarwood. All that stuff. But one thing we pride ourselves on Bio Bombs is being different, right? So we try to come out with scents that aren't. I don't want to say vanilla or mainstream, but ones that aren't widely distributed in other avenues, right? And there's a couple that will do that. Iced out is definitely one that ours is better, but you can compare it to black ice, right? And there's a few like that we had that are core scents in this space. But you know, the thing is we want to have our smells be unique. You know what I mean? Because that's kind of how we roll. It's fair. That's fair statement, right, Christian? I would
Yeah,
say.
I feel like we bring some, I mean, there's your general heaters that people like that we want to try to be able to try to capture some of that market on for sure. But I think the big thing for us is trying to bring original scents, to market, and at least the application purpose, the way we do it with like underneath the seat and stuff like that. So
BTW 574. Stay
I'm
tuned,
telling you,
my
bro,
friend, because
stay
we got
tuned.
that. Trust me.
I'm telling you, dude, if we drop that OG Spice, there's one thing I'm certain about. You're either gonna, like I say, you're gonna love or hate the new car. OG Spice comes out, it's gonna be the same exact way. You're either gonna love that scent or you are not gonna be a fan of that scent. But the thing is, you put that bar in your car and you take that bar out of your car, that scent ain't going away. That's how strong that shit is. You got the steamer and a mini underneath the seat to get rid of that stuff. I mean,
dude,
it's strong, strong.
I am still blown away by the strength of that.
Months, bro.
Months.
Months. 3
Yeah,
plus months, no problem on half a
you
bar. I
will
don't know
get.
if I want to bring it out because we ain't gonna sell no damn bars. People are gonna buy one a year.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I mean?
right. I had to start selling an ace. Like here's a 8-pack of OG Spice. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
they sell the travel bars. Actually, funny thing is, funny story. I use some bars in a travel manner, and I kind of like doing this at Airbnb, like leaving an Airbnb in there in the BioBonds baggie so they see it's in there. Because my brother, he's probably not listening. He decided to shit the bathroom up, and the thing about the UK is they don't really have a really great exhaust fan system in their bathrooms. Okay, so you can't turn on the fan, and if they do, it's some kind of like wheel cut
Doesn't
out of
go
the
anywhere.
window.
Yeah,
It ain't
yeah,
going
yeah, yeah.
anywhere. So I was like, I was like, dude, you couldn't do a courtesy flush. So I immediately went and I grabbed a whole bar of vitamin C and put it in 2 baggies. And I was like, shitress be gone, and threw it in there. And it was vitamin C all weekend. So sometimes, it might be good to bring a bar with you for travel purposes, because sometimes, you get stuck in a situation where you're like, I can't stand the smell, and I'm going to be here for 5 days. You know what I mean?
Interesting, Gary. Very interesting.
Yep.
What else we got on here? Swank is asking if we're gonna do a Squash LLC spray.
I was surprised he didn't ask that earlier. I knew
Listen,
that was
man. I mean,
coming.
obviously, people want it, right? I mean, so we'll have to see. We got some. Like I said, we're always cooking here. There's always something new we're trying to work on. It doesn't necessarily mean everything comes out right away. There's a lot that goes into the actual development of all the different scents and the different things we do. But stay tuned. There might be something coming. Rick Smith asked us real fast. We're gonna go with a coffee mocha scent. I like that. The thing about it is, I don't know how much it's going to be something that someone wants to smell in the car in the afternoon, if that makes sense, unless you're like a coffee junkie. But
can that lift? It seems
yes,
like a tough one. It can.
Yes, but the thing about it is you kind of want to add something to it, right? You want either some type of undertone, something underneath, like underneath or above it, that's going to kind of, give you a little extra pop, right? To like that particular like scent itself. Because like I don't know. I feel like if you do that, just that one, I feel like it's not gonna hit the way we want it to. But I mean, we'll see. Everything's always on the table, guys. You want sense, just let us know, man.
I swear Steve isn't a plant, but Steve, we do have something. It's called lament.
What up, Steve?
Lament wouldn't be right up your alley. I mean,
He
so
said,
you're saying
he said I'd love more sense like lament. Godfrey, slow it down. He's saying he loves it.
Okay, I'm just listen. Lament's
He's excited. Godfrey's so excited right now.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, he likes it. Never mind. I'm just kidding. Lament is good. Underrated. I don't know. Do eucalyptus, man? Like, would that lift? That's one of those.
Eucalyptus is tough, man. There's a competitor out that's doing something with eucalyptus that I picked up just to kind of get a dab for it to see what it was hitting for. And I'll be honest with you, man. Like I pulled it out the bag and kind of let it do its thing for a little bit or whatever, because it's like a different type of application process. And I wasn't really the biggest fan on it. I wasn't sold on it. But the subtle scents are cool. The biggest problem with the subtle scents are like it's either like nose blindness is like such a real thing. And there's some people like you just like me and Godfrey could be right next to each other, and I'm like, yo, smell these, test these scents that I'm, working on or whatever, and we get completely different profiles on them. So like the same thing happens obviously with the rest of the people in the world or in the country. So it's like, it's hit or miss. The mellower scents are the ones I feel like that we can get potentially more issues with people saying, oh, I don't really smell it like that, but I smell it when the wind blows in my car and whatever. So, I mean, again, it's always just bring it to the drawing board, test it. Doesn't work, tweak it, bring it back out again, test it. So
yeah, no, I agree. I mean, it's it's just like the idea has to just hit it has to hit on the bar, and that's the toughest part, because you kind of have to try to forecast, will it hit, because you want it to, but sometimes like you're like, are we going to go through this R&D and we have a feeling that it's not going to pull on the bar, and that's what you don't want, right? You don't want to go through that research and development and put that time into it, and it doesn't happen. Wet leather, man, leather's tough. There was a questionnaire I saw that caught my eye, and I can't even see it. Aqua Velva, sugar plum daddy. Whoa, look at this. Sugar plum daddy and iced out are my go-to, followed by juicy melons. Very good taste, my friend. Very good taste. Anybody?
That's heaters right there.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
There you go. Okay. Aaron's got a great question right here. So if you two are about to face off against Mordor, do you really think that you still have a chance against the forces of Sauron? Well, everyone's going to have to stay tuned, because obviously coming up for the Halloween episode, I've been talking about it for a long time. Godfrey, whether he wants to be or not, is going to be Gimli, and I will 100% be, where's that? Using my little pipe prop I have right there and my little Gandalf costume, and I'm going to be wizarded up. So just don't know if I'm going with white or gray yet. The gray costume's kind of cool, and I think it's easier to keep clean. The white one's going to definitely be a little bit more, frosty and fresh, but, we'll see.
So what about a subscription model?
Subscription model. So we've toyed around with the idea. The big thing is trying to figure out kind of where we want to be at on a price point in order to make it be valuable to our customers, and kind of have us be able to make some type of money off it, right? So the biggest thing is like, if you're going to do a subscription, obviously we value you for wanting to be able to do something like that. For me, it's like, what do you do though? Do you offer a subscription model and you guys, please feel free to chime in the chat to kind of give us your feedback, but like, do you do it once every 2 months? Do you do a 1 bar a month so that you can give half of it away to somebody? Or if you're like a scent junkie like I am, you can kind of just snap both halves and throw it in the car, so it's definitely something we've been toying around with. we just want to make sure it makes sense for everybody to participate in it, and want to make sense for us from a business perspective to be able to do it. I'm definitely down with, toying around with the idea. We got to kind of get the logistics worked out to it.
You could be a psycho like Christian and do a whole bar every time.
I'm a scent psycho, bro. 100%.
Whole bar. He's a whole bar dog. He doesn't bring it. Whole bar. I'm just like, all right.
Yep.
So
most of the time, sometimes I'll let them sit for like a week or two before I like unroll the other one and throw it underneath the seat. But for the most part, I usually always have 2 halves.
So this question, I feel like Chris M knows somebody at the company and they're feeding him information with some of these questions. I'm like wondering, I'm like, who is Chris M? But I saw some folks 3D printing little boxes to hold the bars. Any plans to offer a vented box like that? Maybe a little coffin shaped one. The odor undertaker. I kind of like that.
The biggest problem with printing them, dude. I'm trying to see if I got one around. I actually do.
Now you're about to get that inbox lit up, son.
Nah, man, because we don't have them out there like that or whatever. But like, we got this little box here that we created, right? That's got like a little magnet catch on it or whatever, and it's cool and it's vented and they're dope or whatever. But the problem with them is, guys, like these things take forever to print, even if you throw a certain amount on a board. For us to be able to get the supply that we would need in order to be able to start rocking with it and be able to launch them, to have it be cost effective, I can't find the price point that's going to work for us to be able to do it. So, if there's anybody in the chat that's like, oh my gosh, I got to have one of these, I want to plaster one up somewhere or whatever and hide it in my bathroom because my girlfriend takes wild deuces or whatever, just hit me up in the chat. I'm trying to do what I can.
My girlfriend takes wild deuces. Jesus, man.
You know what I'm saying, man. I just winged it. It's for 56 minutes in. It's about to get sloppy.
Wild deuces. What is this?
Wild deuces.
What's this Finnair bar? That's that's the Phoenix COD bar.
Yeah, listen. Again, we're all open for collaborations here. I would think Aaron would be more like a Fahrenheit kind of bull. You know what I mean? Dark, woodsy, a little cinnamon on that ass.
We had someone ask, I think it was Keeve. He said, how many samples are we giving out at SEMA?
That's a good question. I feel like we got to show up bigger than we did last year. So I think the initial first thought process is, well, one thing we're not going to do is let Godfrey be in control of the inventory, because he's like, yo, I'm going to get these things straightened up. They were all separated. And as soon as Godfrey touched them, they all got mixed in together. And for 5 days, he was trying to chase it.
Hold on. First off, I was guarding the inventory like a pit bull. Eddie was giving him out like he was Oprah Winfrey.
100%. Yo,
5 here, 3 here, 2 here. 5 here.
Let me just open this cabinet.
Everybody gets a car.
Take these. Don't worry about it. No, we don't have 4 more days left of the show. It's no big deal. It's the first day. We're gonna burn bio bombs out of everything they got.
Eddie was like he was like Spider-Man. Boom, boom, boom. And like I think he even gave some of the little trees. No, I'm joking. He didn't do that. Yeah. But he was like, yeah, we're out of here. Especially on, I was like, oh, okay, Eddie. I was like, all right. Jamie was there too. He's like, here, take this. So I was like, oh, it's like he just got 10. Like, what are we doing here? Like, but it was I feel like we have to, right? Yeah, I mean, if we gave him out last year,
yeah, we're gonna do some samples this year, for sure. Gonna do some samples. Gonna have some stickers to give away.
Yeah, I'm foreseeing a late night at the warehouse. I was spared from it last time, but I'm pretty sure not this time.
There is not a chance in the world this year you are getting away with not having to.
I didn't run away from it. No one said, Matt, come help. I would have did it.
Godfrey, respectively, it's hard for you to talk and work at the same time. Well, and usually when you come to the warehouse, we don't get as much done as when you aren't at the warehouse.
But you're in better spirits, so you got.
That's true. You bring an energy that just cannot be touched by anybody else. It fills the room.
You got to take the yin with the yang. But we got in there. Listen, I was respectfully outside of Christian. The first MTE we went to, we were in there like a sweatshop, breaking bars in half with black gloves. Like we were trying to mule illicit drugs. So it was
I mean, again, man, rather if I had the choice, I'd still rather snap them bad boys when we get there. But the problem is we just don't have the time, dude. You know what I mean? So I like to snap them it's like the last day possible and get them shipped. So like if they're even in those little Mylar weed baggies or whatever the hell it is that we use to try to keep the scent locked in, like you still smell them through there. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
people come to us the following day, it seems, they're like, "Yo, man, thanks for the sample bar. My whole hotel room smells nice. I didn't even open it yet." So it's like I'm trying to avoid like someone putting it in their car and be like, "Oh man, this thing didn't last at all," because it's been out of the package for 2 weeks traveling through like FedEx in the desert and shit.
And just as a public announcement with the bars, listen, guys, we love that you love the baggies, but don't hang them on your damn rearview mirror. Don't put them in the sun and then say didn't last, because there's a reason why we've always said from the door under the passenger seat, because it's out of the sun. You don't want it in front of the vent to dry it out. I've the only time I've seen a baggie where I'm okay with hanging is I've seen people actually put it on the emergency like foot brake under there, or like the hood thing, and it's out of the sun,
Yeah.
right? But
Yeah.
like don't lay it in your center console, like, and if you do it, fine. But I'm just letting you know, like,
It
stop.
says on the package, don't do it. So I'm telling you, don't do it. But if people want to do it, that's fine. You can do whatever you want. We're just not going to cover the replacement cost if the oil start eating through your plastic and shit.
Right. Yep. Or if
Nope.
it's really your wife's Five Below perfume that really broke open in the middle console, and you try to say it's us, we know the difference. Okay. When it smells like
True that.
when it smells like shit glitter, that's not our scent. Thank you very much. But yeah, so I think, do
What
we got
else
any
we
other?
got, Godfrey? We're getting close to the end of this bad boy.
We don't really got a lot. I saw, that question we already did, so we could take that off, remove that. Guys, this is the last time to get this question, and if you want to, but I don't really see anything else. I took out the cab filter, put about 12 bars in there. I could confirm that the bar oils will eat plastics, and I have tested it. Yeah, well, that's why we say don't put it on the plastics. So, any oil,
Scrolling through, I'm trying to see if I missed any questions.
I don't think. Scrolling through too. I see people say
Chris
five.
dropped something in here a couple minutes ago. You ever seen a VDK damage a vehicle buying used per the DFU? No. If you use the directions, or if you read the directions and follow the directions, you shouldn't have any damage ever with the VDK. If you're dropping, you get a little iffy when you start putting 3 or more VDKs in a car at the same time, especially if you're aerating them. I know obviously from experience over the years or whatever, but I mean, once you start getting into like 3, 4, 5 VDKs in a car, and I mean, obviously we've had scenarios with really unfortunate circumstances that you had to kind of use that many. You do not want any moisture in the vehicle at all. Like not one drop on the bottom of your shoe getting from the garage into the car to say put a window down or start it or turn it off or whatever. You will 100% have a bleach spot, because chlorine dioxide naturally reacts with water, right? And it releases itself from the jar. It's not naturally going to go back into that jar, but if you release it out into an area that's got dampness in it at a concentration level like that, 100% that gas is going to go right towards that concentrated water spot, and it's going to be so much of the gas going to it that it's going to bleach out whatever you're touching. So,
And on top of that, as a best practice, you should never really be using. You should let a car fully dry before you use a product that, in general, right?
yeah.
But Chris, I know if someone's in a pinch, there's a trick you've told me about to kind of dry the car quicker. I know some experienced detailers already know this, but some in the chat may not. You want to share that with them real quick?
Yeah, I mean, a big thing, if you can, man, run the car, blast the heat on the floor, whatever, crack the windows like 1 inch all the way around. And obviously 9 times out of 10 times in a year, it's going to be a lot hotter inside the vehicle than out or whatever. And you open the windows, it should push a lot of the moisture out with the heat. So
I wanted to ask you a question about that real quick. So obviously using 3 is a lot, and that's an extreme situation. But if you have a big square, let's say you have a big RV and you're doing a big square footage situation, right? Like, about, I know if you say roughly 250 per tablet square feet is what they cover roughly.
I mean, listen, we use that as the general assumption. It's really tough, dude, when you're dealing with like odor situations in general. I feel like odor is very subjective, right? What you think might be a 7, I might walk into your room and be like, yo, dude, this is like a 10. What the heck you got going on in here? So general rule of thumb is like for rooms and stuff like that, 10 by 10 bedroom, something like that, 1 VDK kit or 1 room kit is going to be perfectly fine. It's really, like I said, the biggest thing, guys, and a lot of you guys know this who like dig into the interiors and do the odor removal game. It's all a matter of the cleaning process, right? Like if you got stuff embedded inside the carpets and you got funk kind of trapped down in there or whatever, you got to release it, dude. And the best way to release it is to heat up those the fabrics and the pores or whatever, and allow them fibers to kind of loosen themselves up. The steam pushes the odors up and out naturally, and the chlorine dioxide gas is going to wind up neutralizing the stuff inside the carpet. So the biggest thing is always prep. But there are those situations, man, where like you're in a spot and you're better off just dropping a couple VDKs in there because you're like, yo, this thing is bad, you know?
Right. And yeah, and that's the thing too. Like, yeah, man, and always refer to us if you have any questions about how bad, how far, how aggressive you should get with the treatment. If you're not sure, hit up Bio Bombs. We're definitely there for you to help you out. You know what I mean? But it's an interesting process for sure. I mean, I've had some doozies where people call me, but generally, you're pretty safe with one bomb. You know what I mean? I mean, it's extreme. If you need 3, dude, you might want to burn the car. I don't know.
There's been some cars at the dealerships, bro. JJ will tell you, you know what I mean, where we've dropped 5 in a car because they're not going to take care
5.
They're not going to take care of cleaning the vehicle, you know, the way that they're supposed to or whatever. And I'm certainly not doing it for the price we charge per car or whatever. So it's like, yo, we'll just super dose this bad boy and see what happens. You know, the car ain't ever there the following week. It sells. So
damn car with 1 tab, not an issue.
One thing I was thinking too, real fast, dude. Like I was thinking for the subscription thing, y'all got me cooking in my head now while we're like going through this pod. I think it might be something if we do the subscription base. I think we're gonna have like an exclusive scent collection that you can only get if you're a subscriber. You know what I mean? I think that's a good way to kind of like get people interested in it, right?
Yeah, because especially since like if you're subscription, you're a super user in my opinion, right? You're probably you're rotating your bars more on the front side of the length of the bar being used than the back side. You're not trying to you're not going to be someone that's like, I've had my bar in there for 4 months and I love it. You know, it's you're going to be probably a 30-day to 15-day guy because you just want to rotate the scents. So you're someone that wants variety of smells, and therefore you're going to be that type of person where you're going to use multiple all the time. So it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
You get,
all right, let me see. We got a couple more. Ever think of a refillable bar type? We can reapply all to the bar, refresh it? Absolutely not. That's just creating a thing for stains that we're not trying to deal with or whatever. And there's no, I mean, it's just, I don't think it's something we can at least do at the moment. It just seems like too much of a process. We have a hard enough time trying to keep people happy with the bars that are already pre-made.
Yeah, then that would be a nightmare waiting to happen. You know, I could see like it breaking in the shipment and like, thanks.
I like the idea of a money scented bar called Kiev Links. That's great.
A money scented bar?
It's a joke, ever.
Would there be a stripper version of that?
Nah, I mean,
stripper money scent.
Unless Keith's stripping down on that thing.
I'm not buying it. Sorry, Keith. I like you, but I ain't buying that. Sorry. How about fresh cut grass?
I'm telling you, dude, if I ever do funky bars, like just to mess with people, like we'll call them like
they were talking about prank bars
series. Yeah, man. It's like I'm telling you, it's not a bad play, dude. Like
you got to do a fart bar. There has to be a fart bar,
like a vomit. Like you could do a bunch of them that are like. I mean, technically, we could do saddle cheeks. That could be the first one we bring out. You know what I mean? It's the first prank bar.
Is saddle cheeks ranked as the #1 worst scent?
I don't think there's anything that we've done yet that remotely even touches it. It's absolutely atrocious. Maybe I'll bring one out to SEMA for people to smell so they can see it themselves if we got one. I got to see if we still got one around. Jamie might have kept it because it was so close to his heart and failed to miserably.
I think he liked the name more than the scent.
100%. 100%. They just wanted to rent horses and then wanted to ride out and horseback together, like, you know, some type of Western with the sunset drop behind them or whatever, you know.
Mm-hmm. That's funny. There's only, ew. Do you guys have multi-pack deal for 5-pack VDK? You would do kind of like buying a gallon versus 16 or 32 ounces. Yeah, you get 20% if you buy. Yeah, I mean, how many would that be? 12? Would that be 12 VDK? It'd be 10 VDKs, right? Or how many VDKs would it be? It's doing the math here. That'd be 8 or 7, and you would get 20% off, right?
You got to hit 150. That's the threshold we got.
So 20 times.
Store's got their program, you know what I mean? Everyone, there's, you know, I mean, It is what it is, guys. I mean, choose
Yeah.
to buy where you need to buy from, but we definitely got a pro account for everybody. If you're a business owner, I know Thor's got something going on. A lot of companies are doing that, man. It's the wave, right? Like if you're not doing that, you're missing kind of an opportunity to be able to connect with your people. So
And understand, guys, like the part of the reason we give you that discount is we want to encourage you to buy in bulk when it comes to the VDKs, especially so you're not in a situation where it's like, hey, I need a bomb tomorrow. Because by law, they got to go by ground. And we follow the law here because we're not looking to catch a fine from the government. And, you know, and I don't think anybody really wants to pay. I don't know. I've seen competitors doing something like $70 for overnight, like, which is ridiculous. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Literally.
It's ridiculous.
I'm not going to mention names, but I've tested it.
Real fast, it's a great tip right here from Dragon. Definitely, if you guys are looking for a way to reseal, you could always peel off half the label, rip it open, pop your first half out, roll it down, and then take the label back over it. They stick about 9 out of 10 times really well. Again, if you just peel it back without kind of getting the oil all over your fingers or whatever, it's a great way to keep the bar. If not, just throw a rubber band around that thing. And if you do that, dude, it's good for years. You can pull it out 2 years from now and be perfectly fine. So.
Yeah, that's a good move.
Outside of that, man, we got any other ones in here, Godfrey? Because if not, I'm calling it a wrap, dude.
Yeah.
I got a bunch of junk I still got to get done for the
night.
night.
No, I think that's it, man. If we didn't get any, you know, what's the requirements for a pro count? So listen, you hit me up. If you just looked at a detailing store, I'll approve you. No, I'm just joking. So listen, if you're a detailer, we're not gonna. You could get a pro account. If you clean houses and you use our products, you could get a pro account. If you clean RVs, if you're something that does it professional on a professional basis, we'll hook you up with a pro account that you can't get as a retail customer. We're not gonna be stingy with it. We're gonna be pretty giving with it, right? But if you're just a regular retail customer that probably isn't going to buy from us more than once every year and a half, no, we're not going to give you the pro discount. So it's a case by case basis. But if you fill out the form online, and you usually have to provide the information that proves that, and so we're not going to make you go through some giant verification process, right? We're gonna work on the honor system, but just believe we do watch. So
Godfrey's like a hawk in the system. But yes, outside of that, I think we can finalize it with this one from Harris. Fly Eagles Fly, Godfrey.
Hell yeah, baby. Beat them Cowboys. Bam. Spank that behind. Sorry, Cowboy. I noticed some Cowboys fans in the chat. You guys it's a perpetual factory of sadness.
I'm getting no comment on this one from me, but Godfrey can speak on that if he wants to. We all know he just likes anything with a vein. So
me personally, I like to eat the chocolate shell first and eat the vein up. People are like, what the? But yeah, the normal way, as Christian likes to say, I just open a candy bar, I eat a vein up. So
yeah. Yo, Ed, what's up? Showing up in here late, man. No comment yet. It's definitely something you had just put into my mind a couple of days ago. I know I seem sometimes like I can get shit done fast, but that is definitely
a
not
particulate fogger. Right. Okay.
Let's see here. I mean, listen, a lot of these guys have comments about football. We're not going to get into that right now because it's definitely past the time for us to start arguing about that stuff. But gentlemen, I could say that I don't necessarily disagree with you. Outside of that, I think that's it. Godfrey, you the freshest mofo in this joint right now, man. Appreciate everybody hanging out and chilling with us. You guys are always a bunch of fun. If we missed anybody's questions or if anybody's got a comment, feel free to hit Godfrey or myself up, Godfrey@biobombs.com or Christian@biobombs.com. We're more than happy to work through anything that we didn't get to on the podcast. Hope everybody got a chance to express themselves and ask whatever questions they need. Like I said, if not, man, we're available for you all the time. So thank you very much, everybody, for hanging. Godfrey, give us a little closing comments.
That's it, man. Next week we'll be back to the normal format. Look forward to the next guest. You guys will see that soon. And not Biobomb saying goodbye, just saying stay fresh.
Peace, y'all.